A new week, a new episode of Campfire Cooking in Another World Season 2, Episode 9 this time. This is my review of it, and like usual, watch out for spoilers, you have been warned. Also, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. Just that always makes me a little bit happy when I see the subscriber count go up, so please subscribe. And let's start with our usual recap. The episode begins with Makoto informing the familiars that he intends to leave Dolan. Fel requests to conquer Dolan's dungeon again before leaving, but Makoto rejects him by explaining that rumors of their dungeon quest is spreading in Dolan, and Makoto wants to leave before he becomes too well known there. Grudgingly accepting this explanation, Fel and Dora ask to at least be allowed to hunt before leaving Dolan, something that Makoto readily agrees to. As Fel and Dora go out onto their hunt, Makoto reminds them to keep their hunting in moderation and hands Fel a magic bag to store the monsters that they managed to hunt down. Not gonna lie, the sight of Fel with the magic bag is funny and adorable. It's like a dog who's off on his first errand. It's great. I just love it. While the two are off hunting, Makoto, with Sui's help, makes sausages using the instructions given to him by Alice. After having Sui create a sausage stuffing tube with what looks like mithril, Dude is just basically creating a super premium and expensive kitchen tool set at this point. Makoto and Sui proceed to try making sausages for the first time. As the two relish the success and flavor of their first attempt at sausage making, Fel and Dora return. Asked about their hunt, Fel and Dora point to the hunted monsters that they couldn't manage to fit into the bag. Exasperated, but seemingly getting used to their over-the-top behavior, Makoto brushes the topic aside and the gang enjoy a lunch made up of freshly made sausages. The scene then shifts to the gang standing in front of Dolan's gate as they prepare to depart the city. Elrond and Yugol see them off, with Elrond crying his eyes out for having to separate ways to Dora, a sight that creeps out both Dora and Makoto. After being told repeatedly by Elrond to bring him any dragons and leviathans that the gang manages to hunt down, the gang depart the city. Sometime later, the gang arrive at Nehoff. It's a city famous for ceramics and pottery. At the gates of Nehoff, the gang are held off a bit by guards who are understandably freaked out by Fel and Dora's presence, and struggle to enter until Makoto shows them his A-rank guild card. A nice reminder that Makoto's basically a freak that's got legendary familiars around him. Once in the city, Makoto meets Goron, the guild master of the Adventurers Guild at Nehoff. He assigns the gang two high-ranking quests, one being the extermination of evil plants in a forest, and the other being the extermination of Cyclops from a clay mining site. With the familiar seemingly not minding the difficulty of the tasks, Makoto accepts both quests. Wanting to have a temporary place during his stay that could accommodate his familiars, Makoto heads off to the Merchant Guild in Nehoff to rent a larger house for his stay. Once there, Makoto meets Domenico, the Vice Guild Master of the Merchant Guild in Nehoff. He proceeds to introduce a rental with an equipped kitchen, fridge, and even a bath. With the familiar settling in and relaxing in the rental, Makoto decides to make full use of the large and equipped kitchen to make some dinner. Specifically, curry rice with 2 different curry roe, leading to more product placement. Attracted by the smell of curry, the gang walk into the kitchen and watch as Makoto preps the dish. While initially skeptical of the strange and alluring scent, Fel, Dora, and Sui are shocked upon taking their first bite of curry rice and cannot stop themselves from eagerly scarfing down the dish, stuffing their faces until they are stuffed. Curry rice is king indeed. After dinner, Makoto decides to take advantage of the nice bath in the house. A plan that Dora and Sui are pleased with, while a disgruntled Fel with curry around his face can be seen trying to keep his distance. Not that that stops Makoto from telling Fel that he too will be washed, an idea that Fel tries to push back against but is ultimately convinced to go along with due to being told that he is dirty and smells of curry. Once Fel is washed and turned into a handsome Fenrir, the rest of the gang decide to take their bath and go to bed. The following day, the gang enter the forest to tackle the first request of exterminating the evil plants. To do this, the gang split into 2, with Fel and Dora tackling the deeper ends of the forest, and Makoto and Sui tackling the other areas. Coming across these evil plants, Sui starts shooting acid at them, while Makoto creatively picks up some Japanese-made herbicides with his online grocery skill and uses them on said evil plants. Thankfully for Makoto, the herbicide sprays made in Japan are bizarrely effective on the evil plants, basically proving the high quality nature of the products that come with a Made in Japan label are. Once done with their end of the extermination, Makoto and Sui pick up the dropped magic stones left behind by the evil plants, and are joined by Fel and Dora, who confirm that they wiped out all the plants in the deeper end of the forest, effectively leading to a completion of the first quest. Disappointed with how quickly the first quest wrapped up, the familiars, to Makoto's dismay, decide immediately to head over to the clay mining site to exterminate the Cyclops. Later that day, Fel notices that Sui has evolved again. Curious, Makoto uses his appraisal skill and finds that Sui has evolved into a huge slime with the Giganticize skill. A skill that, as one might guess, seemingly lets Sui grow super big. I have a feeling that we're gonna see a bit more of this in future episodes. Makoto checks into Fel's and Dora's status too, and find that each of their stats seem to have gone up a bit. Although it is a little bit difficult to tell with Fel due to just how high his stats were to begin with. While he's at it, Makoto also checks on his own status and finds that he has leveled up quite a bit. As he does this, he notices the double experience gain skill that had been secretly bestowed onto him by the god of blacksmithing and the god of war in the previous episode. Immediately connecting the dots, Makoto swears to give the gods a piece of his mind when he next sends them offerings. The episode ends with a cute post-credit animation of Makoto and Fel discussing the various stages that Sui has evolved through and what he can evolve into. Fel explains that the final form of evolution for the slime is the Emperor Slime, a name that prompts Makoto to imagine a blue slime wearing a red royal mantle and a crown. An image that for many of us anime fans screamed to be a reference to Rimuru, the main character from the popular anime series Tensura, or That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. The post-credit animation ends with Fel commenting that he fought a Emperor Slime once and had a difficult time with it. A comment that shocks Makoto and has him wondering just how powerful a Emperor Slime has to be to give the legendary Fenrir a difficult time. The potential for our slime friend seems rather infinite. And that's where we end things with episode 9. So, thoughts? The curry scenes were nice. We got to see a lot of the more adorable and funny scenes with the familiars. Not that we haven't been getting them in previous episodes, but it feels like because of the dungeon adventure and because of all the stuff that they had to do in Dolan, there were times where it felt like they were sort of an afterthought. I think this episode we got to see them a little bit more in the forefront, and that led some pretty adorable scenes like Fel having a bag. Overall, I'd say it's been a pretty solid time, and one that is very much in line with kind of the theme and vibe that the season 1 of this show actually had. Not to say that the vibe of season 2 has been bad or anything like that. It's been a little bit different. It's been a little bit more of a, exploring the world, doing a little bit more of the lore building, which is fine. Just, I kind of want to get a little bit more of that chilled, laid-back action at times, and this episode very much fulfills in that regard. We have a few more episodes left for season 2, which makes me a little bit sad because it means that season 2 will be coming to an end, and we won't be getting season 3 for a while, probably, although I think we will eventually get a season 3 for this series. But until then, I'll be coming here every week to review the latest episode of Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skills Season 2. And if you want to follow that, follow me on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, and let me know your thoughts. Did you enjoy the episode? Did you enjoy the Tensura reference? I did. I thought that was pretty fun. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week for another review.